Good day, everyone. I'm Shelby Candelasa, and I'm about to report Achilles and Penelope. Achilles and Penelope is being mentioned in the story of Homer, the Iliad, and the Odyssey. But before that, let us know who is Achilles. Achilles in Greek mythology, he is the son of mortal Peleus, the king of the Myrmidons, and Tethys, one of the Nereid or the same name. He was the bravest, handsomest, and greatest warrior of the army of Agamemnon in the Trojan War. His original name was Lageron. He was also named Nereus from his mother's side and Pelides from his father's side. According to Homer, Achilles was brought up by his mother at Phthia with his inseparable companion Patroclus. Patroclus was Achilles' kinsman or lover. Tethys dipped Achilles as a child in waters of river Styx, by which means he became invulnerable except for the part of his heel by which she held him, the proverbial Achilles heel. The term Achilles heel references vulnerability or weakness. So let's go to the story of the Iliad so that we can know more about Achilles. The Iliad is about the Trojan War, which started because the Trojan prince Paris took Helen of Sparta from Menelaus. So as revenge, Menelaus got the leaders of Greece to fight the Trojan. Peleus sent Achilles to the court of Lycomedes on Cyrus, where he was dressed as a girl and kept among the king's daughters, one of whom, Didamia, bore him Neoptolemus. During the first 9 years of the war, Achilles ravaged the country around Troy and took 12 cities. The 10th year, a quarrel with Agamemnon occurred when Achilles insisted that Agamemnon restore Chryses, his prize of war, to her father, a priest of Apollo, so as to appease the wrath of Apollo, who had decimated the camp with a pestilence. However, things got complicated due to the conflict between Agamemnon and the greatest hero among the Greeks, Achilles. Achilles refused further service, and consequently the Greeks floundered so badly that at last Achilles allowed Patroclus to impersonate him, lending him his chariot and armor. The eldest son of King Priam of Troy slew Patroclus, and Achilles only went back into battle because his good friend Patroclus was killed. Achilles, having finally reconciled with Agamemnon, obtained new armor from the god Hephaestus and slew Hector. Achilles then defeats many of the Trojans, and more importantly, the great hero of the Trojans, Hector. After dragging Hector's body behind his chariot, Achilles gave it to the Priam at his earnest entreaty. The Iliad concludes with the funeral rites of Hector. It makes no mention of the death of Achilles, though the Odyssey mentions his funeral. The poet Arctinus in his Aethiopus took up the story of the Iliad and related that Achilles, having slain the Ethiopian king Memnon and the Amazon Penthesilea, was himself slain in battle by Priam's son Paris, whose arrow was guided by Apollo. Penelope in Greek mythology, she was the daughter of Achilles of Sparta and Periboea, one of the nymphs, and Penelope was the queen of Ithaca. She was the wife of the hero Odysseus, and they had one son, Telemachus. Her original name was Arnacia or Arnaya. She was known for her fidelity to her husband Odysseus, despite the attention of more than 100 suitors during his absence. The Odyssey is a sequel to the Iliad. The Odyssey is about what happened after the Trojan War. Odysseus, one of the Greek heroes, is on his way home back to Ithaca. However, his journey is fraught with twists and turns. In a word, things get very complicated. For instance, he has to face many dangers: the Sirens, Polyphemus, Circe, Calypso, and many more. Homer's account has remained the dominant one. In the ancient world, there were variant stories. In one of them, Telegonus, son of Odysseus and Circe, sets forth to find his father but mistakenly kills him. Telegonus returns to his mother's island with Penelope, whom he marries, and Telemachus, who marries Circe. Telegonus and Penelope had one son, Italus, the eponymous hero of Italy. That's why most of the people believe that Odysseus is dead. The poet, however, informs us that Odysseus is instead held captive willingly on an island by Calypso, the goddess. Poseidon is angry with Odysseus and does not find a reason to assist him in getting back home. In Ithaca, Penelope, the wife of Odysseus, has many suitors after her. The chieftains of Ithaca, nearby island, become suitors of Penelope. To spare herself their importunities, she insists that they wait until she has woven a shroud for Laertes, father of Odysseus. Their son, Telemachus, currently a teenager, is visited by Athene or Athena, a goddess and friend to Odysseus. She tells the boy to set out and look for news about his father. Telemachus goes to Pylos to King Nestor, who sends him to King Menelaus of Sparta. When he gets to Sparta, Telemachus finds out that his father is alive in captivity on the island of Calypso. Menelaus tells him about how his brother, King Agamemnon, got murdered as he was getting home from Troy by Clytemnestra, who was unfaithful to him with Aegisthus. And Orestes, Agamemnon's son, kills his father's murderers. The story brings up the question of whether on return, Odysseus will get killed and then whether his son Telemachus will have to avenge his death. In Ithaca, the suitors of Penelope hatch a plan to kill Telemachus on his return. Athene or Athena asks Zeus to her father to command Calypso to release Odysseus and to have mercy on him. Zeus agrees and later Odysseus lives in a raft. Poseidon creates some storms that wash Odysseus in the shore of Phycia. Athene helps him by making Nausicaa, the princess of the landfall for him, who takes Odysseus to meet her parents. Odysseus tells the events since the Trojan War. Every night for 3 years, until one of her maids reveals the secret to Penelope, and she unravels the piece that she has woven by day so that she will not have to give up hope for the return of her beloved husband and remarry. When at length Odysseus does return, Athene disguises him as a beggar, ensure his safety against the suitors. Odysseus shows himself to his son. While he is a beggar, he tries to convince his wife that Odysseus is coming home. Penelope decides to take matters in her hands and organizes a challenge to all suitors. Anyone who could swing the bow of Odysseus and shoot an arrow through heads of 12 axes would win her. Everyone fails, but Odysseus in disguise steps up and does it. He reveals himself and the suitors are all killed. He reunites with his family, including his father. She makes him prove his identity and finally accepts him. The parents of the suitors are furious and want revenge, but Athena vouches for peace and Ithaca becomes peaceful again.
So, for my reflection, it reflects to us the importance of being brave to all the trials that will come to our life. Even though sometimes we lose hope to face the challenges in our life, but instead we need to trust ourselves and have a high self-esteem in order that we can get our dreams in life. The seas we sail on are rough. It requires us better sails to endure uncertain winds. It requires us better skills and strong attitudes for us to be able to hurdle and conquer great waves and great tides in these ever-disturbed seas of ours. Great sailors are well built in rough seas. What you sow is what you reap. If you sow anger, you will also reap anger. If you promote war, then you get war in return. Taking this concept to the current generation and to our society today, nothing is different. Races fight against races, and nations fight against other nations. This is somehow tiring to know that no one among us knows when these wars would end. Thank you.